Lobsters can travel.
Not for lobsters.
Lobsters can travel.
Anyway.
How many? How many?
5.
5? 5? For what? We're gonna get an aquarium? Put it like back here and have like a lobster aquarium?
No, I guess it was an accident.
How much are lobsters? Like, what's the price of one
I
lobster?
feel like this is a different. I feel like we should move along.
Was that in the budget? The grocery budget? The grocery budget, by the way, has drastically changed. The gas budget has drastically changed to...
So our son he is now a college graduate. Our son is a college graduate.
Be a...
and he has never...
Diplomat. He's
diplomaed?
He's diplomaed.
At least he hasn't been deployed. So he's now a college graduate, and he's like, that doesn't actually happen until June. It's a thing.
We can celebrate now. That's what the lobster's for.
I know. And then I saw that they were getting in live lobster.
A lobster.
And you had to call, and you were busy. And I was like,
who got this live lobster?
Elko
Kitchen. Our friends, Carolyn and Chef Mark.
So
beautiful people.
We're going to have a graduation party for Jordan. He's never had live lobster.
Is this a surprise party?
No, I told him.
He doesn't watch this anyway. My new thing.
Sorry, yes. What's your new information?
I didn't say it was new information.
Oh, new thing.
My new thing is playing cribbage.
Oh, I know.
With Jordan.
Who won last night?
I think I won 2 and he won 1.
Oh, that's nice. That makes it fun and fair and...
Yeah.
I feel like cribbage.
I believe that there's some luck in cribbage, but I believe there's some skill.
Yeah.
I would say it's mostly luck.
I like cribbage because I can beat you.
You typically don't beat me in anything.
I beat you but I've beat you in cribbage. No, I don't. No, I don't. I will not play Monopoly with you. I will not play Risk with you. I do not enjoy playing games with you. The games that I do enjoy, you don't want to play because they're not competitive enough.
They're
like Ticket to Ride.
Puzzles.
I love Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride. There's no. It's not a bad game, but there's no am I winning? It's just like somebody wins and then it's over. It's like that's kind of disappointing. Your favorite is no winner. Everybody's a winner.
Let's all be friends until we find out who's winning who won.
Settlers is kind of like that, but
all right. Oh yeah.
How do you like your coffee? What's your favorite?
It's good. It's
I steamed some coconut milk.
You did.
Coconut milk, and you got a double shot of espresso, and so it's a misto Americano with coconut milk.
Yes, Americano misto.
Oh, with a shot of skinny vanilla syrup. Woo!
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I hope life never goes back to normal.
Happy Sunday.
This is my new normal. You making me my $5 coffee drink every morning.
The commercial coffee machine will have to go back to the church sometime.
Do you remember that? Before this all happened, that I had to disconnect the Starbucks card from my credit card after I lost my job.
Your credit card?
After my job ended, I looked at January and February.
You're spending $100 a week at Starbucks.
Not a week. Not a week. A month. There was months where I spent $70 to $100 at Starbucks, and
then we looked at the credit card and we were saying that you probably need a part-time job just to supplement your
at Starbucks
fingernails, your hair, and your Starbucks.
I'm not high maintenance. Anyway, I did the responsible thing and disconnected my Starbucks card from my credit card.
I didn't accuse you of anything. I wonder what the diva will be today. Uh-oh.
Huh.
Letting the cycles flow.
Huh. Life is cyclical, not static.
Circular. Is that circular?
Cyclical, yeah, cycles, yeah.
Cycles, not circles.
Yeah. Our relationships benefit. I was picturing the ride at the X. Ooh. Our relationships benefit when we allow them to follow their own natural cycles. Like the tide ebbs and flows, so do the cycles in relationships. We have periods of closeness and periods of distance. We have times of coming together and times of being separate in our own homes for weeks on end. How did she know? Just kidding, I made that up. Times of separating to work on individual issues. Oh, is that what we're all doing here?
Everybody's on timeout.
Everybody work on your issues while you're at home by yourself, and let's all come together after. Just kidding. We have times of love and joy and times of anger. Sometimes the dimensions of relationships change as we go through changes. Sometimes life brings us new friends or a loved one to teach us the next lesson. That does not mean the old friend disappears forever. It means we have a new cycle. We have entered a new cycle. We do not have to control the course of our relationships. Whether these be friendships or love relationships, we do not have to satisfy our need to control by imposing a static form on relationships. Let it flow. Be open to the cycles. Love will not disappear. The bond between friends will not sever. Things do not remain the same forever, especially when we are growing and changing at such a rapid pace. Trust the flow. Take care of yourself, but be willing to let people go. Hanging on to them too tightly will make them disappear. The old adage about love still holds true. If it's meant to be, it will be. And if you love someone, let them go. If they come back to you, the love is yours. Today, I accept the cyclical nature of life and relationships. I will strive to go with the flow. I will strive for harmony with my own needs and the needs of the other person. Does this apply to you?
Yeah, because it's speaking of change. Like, that's what I'm getting out of it. It speaks to me about change, and I know for most of us, change can be very stressful. And I was just recently thinking about change and about a child. A child demands change all the time. Like I was watching a show with the little 3-year-old, and he wanted to watch a new show, and then a new show, and I'm like, we haven't even watched one show. And so maybe that's kind of the lens that me as an adult needs to have, is like, I am looking forward to change, because without change, I can't grow. And without growth, I don't get better. And without getting better, I'm not a service to God. And so I think change is super important, that we have to accept it, and almost, like, I guess it's better that I want it. I remember going out west for a conference, and it was November-ish, and it was on Victoria Island. And Victoria, everything was green. And this is winter. And one day it was, I think, 5 degrees, and there was a bit of snow, and people were saying this is like the coldest it ever gets, or it was 0 degrees. And this is as much, everything's always green. There's ferns, there's all that stuff. And then when we got back here, I was like, why would anybody live here? Like, the road is full of snow, the leaves are off. It was like this frozen tundra of ugh. But I guess, yeah, change of seasons and change. What do you think?
Well, I think I have friends from like a long time ago, and they have been they've seen me change a lot, and I think all of us have changed, and so there's been times where we don't see each other, and then there's other times where we'll get together, and it's like we've been hanging out the entire time. But it's interesting to see, like, when you have those friendships where, like, you don't spend tons of time together, you get to see more clearly how much people have changed, or how much they've stayed the same. And yeah, I think that it's been, change is something that I would say I don't like change, but I don't think that I'm like that anymore. I think what I struggled with was I tried so hard to control everything in my life and to keep it all the same, because everything felt so insecure that I needed everything to just not
be static.
Yeah, just don't rock the boat, because I just need to be okay, and I don't feel okay, and anything can rock the boat. And so now I feel like I'm a little more open to things changing. I do still have a really hard time. I mean, at church, like, especially when we have people that are part of our church, and they're like a close part of our church, and then they leave. I understand, but it's always still really hard for me. I really grieve.
Running a rehab center and having 12 guys at a time for 9 months, you want them to leave. Like the goal is
for them to leave. Yeah.
When you have kids, they should leave at some point.
Yes.
I think there's a nostalgia where we go backwards and we remember. We were listening to the House of Pain and the Humpty Dance. It was like there's like 90s DJ night, and we like can look back and go, oh, remember those days? I remember, change. I think if it doesn't change, it's weird, and I think everything is made to change. You could go back to the Navan Fair, and not much has changed, and it's like it probably should change.
I wouldn't know,
and the people should change. But I think cycles happen. We have ups and downs. We have money. We don't have money. We have abundance, and we have to be accepting and grateful for each cycle. Yeah, it's good.
I like the trust the flow, take care of yourself, but be willing to let people go. Hanging on to them too tightly will make them disappear.
Yeah,
I think that would feel especially true about like kids.
Holding on to them kids.
Seriously, I think that's like a really hard thing for people as their kids grow and get old. And I mean, maybe for some of us, like our kids stay for a while, and then by the time they move out, you're like happy for them to move out. But I think that transitioning from like kids who are dependent on you to like kids who are supposed to be independent is a tough transition. I think it's true. Well, someone gave me that wise advice. Did I say this yesterday?
I don't know.
Someone gave me really, really wise advice. But I just got total thrown because I was like, I feel like I'm repeating myself. It's Groundhog Day.
You probably have, but no one cares. What's your advice?
They said about when our kids were little, get them to participate in like household chores, but like don't criticize what they're doing. And so like if the dishes aren't clean, then just go back and rewash them later when they can't see.
I feel like this was my advice that I gave.
Oh, for sure not. It was you were not the sage,
wise
old lady who gave me that advice.
I kind of grew up in a bit of harsh, but like
my mom was this way.
Okay.
So my mom would not come harsh on us if we didn't do things the way that she wanted them to do. She would next time.
That's good.
She would next time, but like she did try to learn from how she grew up in a super strict, like getting yelled at if the dishes weren't done properly.
All right, closing
was trying not to control my kid and to keep my kid under my thumb, so that as he got older, he was more independent and wasn't trying to like push me away.
I read a parenting book after the parenting happened, and I was like, going into that book, I thought I was about 75%, like if I was going to grade me, and then by the end of that book, I was like,
I was a terrible parent.
I'm a horrible parent. Like,
however,
horrible.
My kids graduated from high school.
If your kids graduate from high school, you have valid input. Until then, keep your mouth shut and ask for advice from somebody that does have high school grads.
So today, God, we just pray for harmony with our own needs and the needs of other people around us. Amen. Acceptance
of change. Hug your kid today and wash your hands. And
contest.
We'll see you at 4:00. And the contest, share, like, comment, whatever, engage. And
tomorrow.
Monday will be the draw for any shirt on the ADR website. And, or kombucha.
And we have church online at